My father banned me from his wedding because I looked like my mother. Now his new wife won't have kids with him. My dad Roger and I were always close growing up. After my mom Elaine cheated on him with his business partner when I was 14, he got full custody and we became a team. Every Friday we'd get takeout from this Cuban place and watch whatever movie I picked. He came to every soccer game, helped with homework he didn't understand, and learned to braid hair from YouTube when I needed it for tournaments. He never said a bad word about my mom even though she basically disappeared after the divorce to start a new family with the guy she cheated with. We were solid for 8 years. Then he met Brittany at some conference when I was 22. She was 31, worked in pharmaceutical sales, and looked nothing like my mom. Where my mom was tall with dark hair and brown eyes like mine, Brittany was short, blonde, and had green eyes. Dad was 50 and absolutely smitten. I was happy for him because he deserved to find someone after being alone for so long. Brittany seemed nice enough at first. She laughed at his bad jokes, encouraged him to take that promotion he'd been nervous about, and even asked me about college and my plans after graduation. 6 months in, they got engaged. I helped him pick the ring. He was nervous like a teenager, and it was actually cute seeing him that excited about something again. The wedding planning started normal. Brittany asked my opinion on flowers. We went cake tasting together, and she even asked me to give a speech. Dad kept saying how perfect everything was, how this was his second chance at happiness. Then Brittany started making comments. She'd stare at me during dinner and say it was creepy how much I looked like the photos she'd seen. Dad would change the subject. She'd ask if I'd gotten my personality from my mother too. Dad would tell her to stop. She'd wonder out loud if cheating was genetic. Dad would get quiet. 3 months before the wedding, Brittany suggested I might be more comfortable not being in the wedding party since people might think about Dad's first marriage seeing me up there. Dad said that was ridiculous. I was his daughter and obviously I'd be there. Brittany dropped it but started finding reasons I couldn't come to wedding planning meetings. The venue was too far for me to drive after classes. The dress shopping was during my work shift. The caterer tasting was family only. Dad didn't notice the pattern. 2 weeks before the wedding, we had the rehearsal dinner. Brittany had been drinking wine since noon. She pulled my dad aside, but I could hear her from across the room. She said looking at me was like looking at a ghost, that I was ruining her special time, that she couldn't compete with his past when it was standing right there with Elaine's face. Dad told her she was being dramatic. She said he had to choose between his fresh start and his painful history. That's what she called me. His painful history. Dad came over after and said Brittany was just stressed about the wedding. The morning of the wedding, I was getting ready at the hotel with my cousin when Dad knocked. He stood in the doorway and couldn't look at me. He said Brittany was having anxiety about the wedding and thought it would be better if I didn't attend. I laughed because I thought he was joking. He wasn't. He said I could come to the reception later, but not the ceremony because Brittany didn't want my mom's face in her wedding photos. I reminded him my mom hadn't been around for 8 years. He said it didn't matter because I looked exactly like her, and it was triggering for Brittany to see the face of